I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we do notebooking. First of all, I love composition books for notebooking. I don't like spirals. They can tear sheets out of spirals, and then, we end up with very few pages left in the spiral. The comp book, if they tear a page out, another page is torn out someplace else. So there's a rule. You never tear pages out of a composition book. If they mess up a page, we've cannibalized, taken an old one apart, and they can take sheets out of that, and then they can glue those sheets into this comp book and have extra sheets inside. So pages are never torn out. So I love the comp books. Now when we start notebooking, we usually put something in the beginning of a comp book or something at the end for holding papers and materials that the student's going to need throughout the entire study. This particular one was done by a teacher. This is the teacher's planning book. So the teacher has gone through and just sort of roughly figured out when things might be taught in the sequential order in which they're going to be taught. And then at the beginning of this, the teacher put a list of the goals and what is expected of the students in the notebooking. I like placing an envelope either at the beginning in the front or at the back of a comp book. This is a 6x9 manila envelope. This manila envelope has just been shaved to the inside edge and across the top. Now I do that so that when it's glued in, students can now have a pocket to place quarter sheets, half sheets, worksheets, information sheets, and things that they might need while they're working in the comp book itself. So it can be placed either front or back. I'll show you one a little bit where it's been placed at the front. Now, this is what a teacher's planning book looks like. These are what the actual student books look like. Now, talk about ownership. The front of these books has been covered with things that have meaning to each of the different students. And you can see how much has been placed inside these books. And this is even following some of the special hints that I'm going to talk to you about in just a moment on ways to decrease the amount of paper. So you can imagine how big these would have been if we hadn't done that. This one has the envelope to the front, and this becomes their parking lot. One of my directors calls it that. And you can see this also has a goal at the beginning. And the goal of this teacher for this group is that every student will score 80 percentile or above on the final exam, but also become incredibly proficient at mathematics in their daily life. And the students, you'll find notes throughout the entire book where the students will even write things like, "I love math." And they did love math, and their scores were phenomenal after doing these books. This compilation of everything they'd done through the year, including even their worksheets. Look at how the worksheets are exhibited within this. So the worksheet becomes part of it. Sometimes the worksheets aren't printed at 100%. We only print them at 50%. Anchor tab them in, and they become a part of the notebook too on a smaller scale.